Hey everyone, Ben from Snowboard Gamer. Welcome to episode 64 of This Week in Board Games. In this weekly show, I share with you all the games I played last week, go over any interesting board game news, and show any new purchases. I also do a spotlight on one game. This week I'll be doing a spotlight on the game Hive. This game is for 2 players, ages 9 and up, and plays in about 20 minutes. In Hive, each player is attempting to surround the other player's queen bee. The pieces surrounding the queen bee do not have to be all of your pieces, some can be the other player's pieces. Each player starts with 11 tiles, 1 queen bee, 3 ants, 3 grasshoppers, 2 spiders, and 2 beetles. Throughout the game, you are either adding new pieces to the hive or moving existing pieces around the hive until 1 queen bee is surrounded. You start the game with each player placing 1 tile to start the hive. After that, any new tiles that are placed on the hive must be placed against your color only. For example, you could not put this white tile here because it is also against a black tile. Within the first 4 moves of the game, you must deploy your queen bee tile. On your turn, you can either place a new tile onto the hive or move an existing tile around the hive. Each tile moves slightly differently. The spider moves exactly 3 spots around the hive. The grasshopper jumps in a straight line to the first empty spot, then lands. The ant can move as many spaces around the hive to any spot that it can slide into. For example, it can slide into this spot here, but it cannot slide into this spot here. The beetle moves 1 space at a time, but can move on top of pieces on the hive. When on top of another piece, the bottom piece is trapped and cannot move. The beetle also assumes that color for placement purposes. For example, I could trap the queen, then start adding pieces of my own around the beetle since this is now considered white. The queen bee moves 1 space at a time. You cannot move a piece if it breaks up the hive. For example, this move is not allowed since it would break the hive into 2 pieces. Play continues with players either placing new tiles onto the hive or moving existing tiles until 1 player surrounds the other player's queen bee. Arik's on today to talk about Hive. I've got the regular version, you've got the pocket version. Let's talk about the regular version first. What do you like about Hive?
I like the ease of play. It's a quick game, very strategic. I enjoy it, yeah. What do you like about it?
I like that it feels kind of like chess, but you can play it in 15 or 20 minutes. I like the game of chess, and this one is not as deep as the game of chess, I would say, but it still kind of scratches that itch for a 1 versus 1 game where every move matters and you make 1 bad move and the other person now has an advantage on you.
Yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with chess, so I like this game better because it's not as stressful as chess. It moves a lot faster. I think if you play this enough, you might come up with strategies similar to chess, but I don't play it that much where it's just more of a casual game. I don't find chess to be casual at all.
No, that's a good point. In this one, if you make a bad move, it's not the end of the world. The game's done in 15 minutes. You can play another game very quickly.
Exactly, yeah, that's why I like it too.
So let's talk about the pieces for a minute. Which piece in the standard set is your favorite?
The grasshopper.
And why is that?
I think it's sneaky because it can jump over stuff, so it can sometimes it can catch the other player off guard because they don't notice it.
That's a good one. My favorite is the ant because it's just so versatile. It can go anywhere.
I used to use the beetle a lot because it can trap. But I don't use that as much as I used to. This one used to be my favorite piece, but now it's taken over by the grasshopper.
So the base game is between $20 and $25, and it's the same price as Pocket Hive, which you have. And what's the difference between Pocket Hive and the base?
The pieces are about half the size.
Okay.
And which is nice for travel. Although the case for this is pretty nice too. And then it comes with the first 2 expansions, the ladybug and the mosquito.
Okay. So for the same price, you get 2 of the expansions. The tiles are a little smaller. There's 1 more expansion though that you have also, right? The pillbug?
The pillbug.
So let's talk about the expansions. How do you think it changes the game? Does it make it better? Does it make it more complicated?
The ladybug and the mosquito, in the scheme of things, they match the other pieces. And I like them because it adds a variety and there's more you can play. The pillbug though, it's more complicated than any other piece. I think it changes the game for the better.
I would agree. We played it with that yesterday and I naturally gravitated towards the pillbug of the 3 expansion ones just because it's so powerful. You can move pieces out away. You can move someone else's piece with it.
Right.
Or you can move your queen out of a tough situation with it, which is really cool.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty neat. Like we've talked about before, in the base game, if you get on the offensive, then the other players seems to be playing defensively and trying to get out of that. And that's pretty much the way the whole game goes.
Yeah.
The pill bug is nice because it actually can really change the dynamic of the game quickly.
I agree. That's an awesome expansion. I think I'm going to look at getting all three with the big tiles. I really enjoyed when you brought it over the other day. That was fun.
I really do like these big chunky pieces though.
Cool. Any negatives about the game that you would say?
The only negative I have is it reminds me of chess sometimes, and I get post-traumatic stress disorder from it.
Would that be post-traumatic chess disorder?
There you go. I love the way, that you can pretty much take it anywhere and play it because it stands up to weather and these are easy to clean. Like we've taken them to bars a lot, and it's great.
I just washed them. I put them in a big bowl and filled it up with water and scrubbed them, and they're clean as new now. They were all dirty and dusty from our camping trip.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And the only negative I would say, it's not really a negative, but if you don't like chess or games like that, then you're probably not going to like this game.
Yeah, there's no luck. I mean, this is pure strategy.
Yeah, that's right. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Arik.
Sure thing.
My parents were in town this week for the kids' marching band competition, and we played a few games around our coffee table in the living room. And it got me thinking, what are your favorite coffee game tables? Leave them in the comments below. I'll share with you 2 games that we played on the coffee table that worked really well. The first one is a game called Welcome To. This game is for 1 to 100 players, ages 10 and up, and plays in 25 minutes. This is a roll and write style game, but instead of rolling dice, you're flipping cards over and everyone plays off the same 3 cards, trying to write numbers down on all these houses to build a neighborhood. It's a really fun game. I love this game. I did a spotlight on it last week in episode 63, so go check that out if you want to hear more about it. The next coffee table game we played is Coup. Coup is a bluffing game with secret identities. It's for 2 to 6 players ages 13 and up and plays in about 15 minutes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it here. If you want to hear more about Coup, go check out the spotlight I did in episode 60. Coup is a fun one, a great one to play around the coffee table. The next game we played is Potion Explosion. This game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, and plays in 30 to 45 minutes. In Potion Explosion, you're taking marbles out of this contraption, and when they fall down and similar marbles collide, they explode. And then you use all the ingredients to fill potion orders. Kinsey had her friend Julia over, and Allison and I played this with them.
So we're gonna move this, and I can choose 2 different kinds. So I'm gonna take those, and then for my regular cascade, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take those. Oops. 4. And then that way. Oops. Oh my gosh.
Julia.
And then we have that. Then we have that.
If you want to hear more about Potion Explosion, go check out the spotlight I did in episode 44. The next game we play this week is The Mind. We've been playing this a lot. It's for 2 to 4 players ages 8 and up and plays in about 15 minutes. This is a cooperative game where you're trying to read each other's minds and play cards from lowest to highest, but you don't know what cards everyone has. Each level you get the number of cards for that level. So you start off with just 1 card each and you gotta play them in order from lowest to highest. They come from a deck of 100 cards. This is a very unique game and we played a lot of it this year. If you want to hear more about it, check out the spotlight that I did in episode 50. The last game we played this week is Cockroach Poker. This is for 2 to 6 players ages 8 and up and plays in 20 minutes. I don't have it here because my friends Arik and Liz brought it over and Allison and I played it with them. This is a really fun, lighthearted bluffing game where there's not even a winner, there's just one loser and you're trying to not get stuck with similar bug cards. And you slide someone a bug card and then you either tell the truth or lie about it and then they can call you out on it. It's really lighthearted. I enjoy it. I mentioned my parents were in town for the kids' marching band competition, so I put together a little clip of some behind the scenes of us as parents. Check it out. We're at the regional marching band competition. I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look at us pushing all of the percussion instruments onto the field. We just pushed over to the warm-up area. Their percussion section is warming up. My job is the generator. They run an entire sound system with speakers and a switchboard off of a generator. It's pretty cool. We've pushed all the way down onto the track and are waiting to go on the field now. One band is in front of us. Say hi, Greg. Hi. Greg's the one who punked me on International Tabletop Day by bringing a copy of Monopoly over.
What?
Best prank ever. I gotta give it to you.
Why not just Monopoly?
Here goes. Kids now have their debrief with the directors. They're sitting over there. They're getting ready to load the truck now. It's a whole semi that fit all this equipment in.
So shout out to Ian for doing such a great job during this regionals festival. He just did really well. And
Wait, was Ian the guy playing the drums in the front at the beginning?
yeah, it's called the DTX pad actually, and he was doing an amazing job. Like, he carries the band 100%. Without Ian, this band would be horrible.
You know what's funny? Ian looks exactly like you.
Yeah, I know. People, I'm a little horseshoe, but people confuse us all the time. So, but yeah, Ian, best musician in the band, hands down.
We're in the car now, driving ourselves back. No kids, because they're both in band. It's very different. They did well. They placed 4th place in the regionals and are headed to state. So wish them luck in a few weeks at state. Hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes of the parents at the marching band competition. Board games are a big part of our life, but they're not everything. We have other things that we do as well, and that's a big part of our life also. Let's move on to the news now. Terraforming Mars came out on Steam this week, and so I snagged it. I'm giving Terraforming Mars on Steam a try here. We'll see how good it is. I went through the tutorial. It took about 20 minutes. The interface seemed decent. Let's check it out. Why not? I'll go easy, medium, hard. Man, this planet motion is making me nauseous. First thing I did was turn that off. I turned the animation speed up to fast, but it's still kind of annoying that you have to wait for the turns of everyone else. Also, I wish I could look at my cards while the other turns are going on. I have to wait until it gets back to my turn, and then I can look at my cards. It'd be better if I could kind of plan out what I'm doing while it's going. The biggest complaint on Steam so far is that there's no drafting variant implemented, but they're supposed to be adding that in December with the patch. I'm gonna build a city now. The game ended up going 11 generations and took me a little more than an hour. Let's see how I did. I played against an easy, medium, and hard. I was green. Let's see my cities. Uh-oh. There goes purple. Woohoo! That's me. I narrowly eked out a victory over red, which was the hard AI. Overall, the implementation is good. I'm not sure it's worth the $25 price tag. That's pretty steep for Terraforming Mars. It is a good way to play the game with friends who don't live in the same city as you. It's also a good way to learn it. Maybe watch for it to go on sale on Steam though. The next set of news is also Terraforming Mars related. There's a new expansion called Colonies coming out, and it is now on pre-order. You can pre-order on Stronghold Games website, or I put in a pre-order at my local game store, the Wizard's Chest, and they'll have it for me in December when it comes out. So look out for that one in a few months. I didn't buy any new board games this week, that's why there's nothing over here, so we'll go ahead and call it a wrap. Hopefully this gives you an idea of some games that you can play with your family and friends. I'd love to hear what you're playing in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going there. I enjoy chatting with all you guys about board games every week. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and sharing it with your friends. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
The only negative is that I get chest
Chest pee?